Hi, so this is going to be my video on what would be in my sort of school makeup bag, which when I was in school I didn't personally have a makeup bag until the end of school. It was pretty naff, but now I sort of know my way around makeup. I know exactly what I would have put in my makeup school makeup bag. So yep, and this is all Drugstore, so it's all completely affordable. I'm going to start off with the sort of Real Techniques brushes. I think basic brushes are so important to apply your makeup. Of course, I really like to apply foundation with my fingers. Some people don't for hygiene and whatever else, but when I was in school I probably just used my fingers. But I think a good sort of foundation brush is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This brush is just really nice to just put your foundation on the back of your hand, just blend it all over your face. It's really simple and easy, and these are so affordable. They range from £7 to £12. The next one I have is the blush brush. I like to use this for contour and blush as well, so if you want to contour in school you can contour because it's quite a tapered end, and you can also put on the tops of your cheekbones too, and it's good for highlighting if you're lucky enough to wear a highlighter. For a concealer brush, I have the Dome Shadow brush by Real Techniques again. This can also be an eyeshadow brush just to blend in really quickly, and it can double up as a concealer brush too. And if you're just wearing concealer, it's nice to blend it out into the skin. The last one I have is powder. I think powder is super important for a long day because your skin obviously gets a little bit greasy and oily and it goes places that you don't want it to go. So just to keep everything in place, it's just nice to dab it into a powder and dab it on your face. And I'd say don't brush your brush around your face, dab it on, because it sort of takes the product off and can leave it to go a little bit patchy. And lastly, for an eyeshadow brush, I just had this angled brush. This one's from eBay. I'm going to try and find the link that I used and down below, but these are around about £3-4, and it's nice just to pick up products, blend it into the sort of crease or to apply it, dab it on, and you can get it really finely underneath if you're lucky enough to wear eyeshadow. Foundation, I have two foundations here. I have the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation. In school we weren't allowed to wear makeup, but if it wasn't noticeable it was fine, and I got away with it, and I was never really asked to take my makeup off. I know that some of the girls were, but this one's just really natural. It sits on the skin. It's got quite a good coverage, quite a heavy coverage. So if you're in school and you're dealing with acne and blemishes, or you just feel really insecure about your skin, this is a really good foundation. It's quite healthy and dewy, but it doesn't sort of cake up on the skin. It's not really noticeable. But I would say it's not a very good colour shade range. The second foundation I have is the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation, because this one's quite a sheer coverage. It just sort of evens out the skin tone, keeps it moisturised, gives it a little bit more dewiness and glowy, and a tiny bit coverage, not as much as the Bourjois Healthy Mix. But I think it's a nice sort of foundation to wear every day because it's light on the skin, you can't feel it, it doesn't weigh the skin down. And these are around about £8, which I think is a bargain. I have the Bourjois Healthy Mix concealer. This is my favourite all-time drugstore concealer just because it's not cakey, it's nice to blend in. You get it in a tube so you can put it on your fingers, warm it up and then pat it on, or put it on the back of your hand and pick it up with a brush, which is nice. A lot of people like the collection one, but I personally don't, but I think it would be good if you want a really cheap one and it's just for school. That one would be good. I prefer this one, but this one's a little bit more expensive at around £8. I have the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. I remember when I was in school I didn't wear concealer at all. I just used to wear foundation and think that was fine. It was not fine. Just pop this on and it'll really brighten up the eyes, give it a little bit of coverage and make you look more alive and awake. As for concealer, I have the Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch concealer. It's a nice sheer concealer. It's more of a highlighting concealer, so it's nice to go under your eyes again. And it's nice to use as a highlighter because I wouldn't wear a highlighter at school. I don't really wear a highlighter now, but I wouldn't wear it to school because it can end up a little bit too shiny and too oily and sort of gather up oil, and you don't really want that. So this is quite nice to just have as a subtle highlight on your face just to make it really dewy and glowy. For powder, I have one powder. This is the Revlon Nelly Naked powder. This is my favourite drugstore powder. It's around about £10. And I just find that it's just such a nice powder. If you don't wear foundation, this is the perfect powder because it does have a little bit more coverage than some of the other powders, but it helps us keep things matte, and there's a bird outside my window. It helps to keep things matte and sort of in place. It doesn't move around on the face, it doesn't gather up, it doesn't absorb all the oil on your face. It's just nice to pat on with a brush and just to leave it there, and it's got quite a few good shades too. For a contour, if you're lucky enough to wear contour, which I'd say if you're not allowed to wear makeup, try and make it as subtle as you possibly can. That's what I used to do. Is the Sleek Contour Kiss, which you get a highlighter if you want to wear a highlighter, and a contour colour just to go under your skin. And it's also quite a warm toned contour, so you can sort of warm up the face and bronze up your face and sort of make it look like you've got a tan. I remember doing that in school and it didn't go that well. A few more blushes here. First of all, I have the NYX taupe blush. This is quite hard to get a hold of. I know you can get it online on eBay for a few pounds, which is what I got it from, because I don't have a NYX counter anywhere near my house or near I am. But this is nice to wear if you don't want to wear contour, if you just want to put it on. It's nice. It's quite a nice contour colour because it's a cool shade. But it's nice to just add a bit of colour into the cheeks, so you don't look completely washed out and flat. And I also have a creamy blush in Topshop's Head Over Heels, which is a nice peachy colour. Just adds a little bit colour to the cheeks again. But I really like cream blushes because powders can really weigh down the skin and you can feel them there sometimes. With a cream blush, it's quite healthy and dewy and glowy, which is probably what you want to look like when you're 15, 16. The last one I have is one of my favourite blushes, and it's the Natural Collection blushes. I have Rosy Glow. I have quite a few of these because there's got quite a few in the collection. These are £2. Like, I can't believe it. And it's nice just to have a powder one, just in case you're sort of shiny and you can just really matte it up with a powder. Just dab it across the cheeks just to give it a little bit of colour. If you're lucky to wear eyeshadow, I was not, so I never did. The Rimmel quads are quite handy along with the other Rimmel eyeshadow. I've got a few now, and I find they're quite good. I either stay on all day, which is what you want from a sort of 6-hour day, and then if you're going out with your friends after school, it's nice to have that option of eyeshadow. And if you get these quads, you have 4 in there, so for £5 you get 4 eyeshadows, which I think is an absolute bargain, and it's also really simple to create looks from these. And this is the Rimmel Scandalized Eyeliner Nude. I mean, we weren't allowed to wear eyeliner in school, so as I did go through a phase of wearing black eyeliner around my eyes and it wasn't good. But I think it's quite nice to sort of brighten up the eyes with this. It'll cancel out any redness, sort of make you look more awake, and it's quite a natural eyeliner, and it stays on all day because it's a waterproof eyeliner, and it's just really easy to use. For eyebrows, I have 2 things. I have the Maybelline Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara. This, when I was in school, well, I've always had blonde eyebrows and they're quite fair, so you can't really see them. And I remember in my last year of school, I got an eyeshadow and decided to fill my eyebrows in darker so you could see them. And it was quite a red toned eyeshadow, which you could tell it was just really, and I have absolute regrets about that now. So I so wish I had this in school. It sort of adds a bit of colour in your eyebrows, keeps them in place, stays out all day, it's not too crispy, and you can't even tell you're wearing anything on your eyebrows. Something else that I really like, I wish I had started using a pencil when I first got into makeup, because I started off with an eyeshadow and now I find it harder to use a pencil. I have the Rimmel eyebrow pencil in, this is just in dark brown, and I find this is so easy just to brush through, and then you've got a little eyebrow brush on the end and you can just brush that through. These are $2.99, which I think is a bargain. Mascara, I always used to wear just a tiny bit of mascara so my teachers wouldn't notice. I can't remember which mascara that was. I think it was a collection one. But if I was to go back now, I would definitely wear the false lash effect mascara, because even now I wear it every day because it's really subtle. You have eyelashes but they're not in your face. That's how I personally prefer my eyelashes to be. It's waterproof, it'll stay on all day, it doesn't clump, it doesn't sort of weigh your eyelashes down to make you feel tired and heavy. And I think this is an investment. It's around £10, which is a little bit steep for mascaras, but if you're like me and hold on to every last ounce, it should be okay. If you were lucky enough to wear lipstick at school, which I was not, and I remember one time walking in with a Barry M lipstick, which was bright red, walked into science, I got handed a paper towel, a dry paper towel, and was told to scrub it off, and it was just in front of my whole class, and it was just so embarrassing, and I never ever wore lipstick for school ever again after that. Nightmares. I do have a few things. I have the Collection Cream Puff Moisturising Lip Cream in, I think this is, I'm not sure what colour. This is quite a nude colour. And I have a few other ones, but this is the most subtle one because it's quite a nude colour. It's moisturising. It looks like, it makes your lips look a little bit like your lips but better kind of thing. And it's not too concealer lipsy. I also have an e.l.f. I don't know, the writing's rubbed off. I'll try and find what it's called and link it. But this is just like a little lip pencil, lip crayon thing. And it's in quite a nice pinky rose. Tea rose, that's what it's called. Tea rose colour. Which I think is quite nice. It's quite an autumn colour, which if you're lucky enough to get away with, I would definitely recommend these. Nude, and this is the Rimmel Kate Moss in 03, which is just a really nice dark and nude. It's just nice to add a bit of moisture into the lips and a little bit of colour too. And that is everything that I would have put in my school makeup bag if I had to go back now. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think. Please like and subscribe and share if you would like. And I'll see you in our next video. Bye!